What's up guys, I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never and welcome back to another update on Turbo. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so when we look at Turbo, you can see that it's currently sitting at a $279 million market cap. And from a technical analysis standpoint, not a whole lot has changed since my last Turbo update. If you guys have been watching my Turbo updates over the last few months, you know that I initially had Turbo drawn in this falling wedge. And then eventually we got a breakout from this falling wedge and it led to an even larger breakout. And then a few weeks ago, I had Turbo drawn in another falling wedge and it started to break out yet again. However, after it started to break out, the market got hammered. And you can see right now that we are starting to form another falling wedge. This is currently the structure that I'm watching for Turbo. And trust me, I know a lot of people are getting tired of the consolidation, but I want you to understand that this is not just a Turbo thing. This is an entire market thing. If you come over and you look at meme coins, you can see that so many meme coins out there are consolidating. And a lot of projects out there are hardly moving at all. They're up 3 or 4% and then they're down 3 or 4%, up 3 or 4%, down 5 or 6%. And it just seems like a constant uphill battle, but that's the reality of crypto. Oftentimes crypto moves in very unexpected ways. And you always have to remember that the 1% are the 1% for a reason. Most people are never going to make it in this space. When you actually look at a project like Turbo from a fundamental standpoint, nothing has changed. For example, right now, if you look at the volume compared to a lot of other projects in the same market cap range, Turbo currently has 25 million in volume, Toshi's 16 million, Snek is 11 million, Mog is 14 million. You go beneath it, Dog is 6 million, Popcat's 29 million, Mew is 25 million. So Turbo is still very competitive with all of these projects around it. And you can see that a lot of Turbo's volume right now is coming from Binance and HTX. Binance has 10 to 11%, HTX has 21.1%. But overall, there's very good volume distribution for Turbo. That's exactly what you want to see. Now, what's interesting for Turbo though is I do also want to take a quick look at Ethereum. So when you look at Ethereum, you'll notice that the daily time frame has bounced multiple times off of the 21-day moving average recently. And as you guys know, Ethereum is going to have a major impact on Turbo and a lot of other projects in its ecosystem. And I've been saying for a long time, naturally, the better that Ethereum does, the better that a project like Turbo is going to do. And I absolutely stand by that. However, you also then have to understand how profit rotation works. The reason that Ethereum is very important right now is because when you zoom out, you could argue that this was a macro double top. Now, yes, we did put in a higher high and we actually closed the highest candle we have ever closed, especially from a weekly standpoint. I'll show you guys the weekly time frame right here. This was the highest close that we have ever had, but it does not change the fact that as of right now, this could be argued as a macro double top. So you have to look at this from a trader standpoint. A lot of people don't want to enter the market right now when they don't know whether or not Ethereum is going to go into price discovery. If they think Ethereum is just going to have a major pullback from here, then there's no point in entering yet. I genuinely believe that in order for the Ethereum ecosystem to start to break out, we need ETH to truly break all-time highs, not just get back above it by $50 or $60. We want to see Ethereum go into price discovery. If that happens, then it should pretty much help all altcoins. But then you also have to understand from a profit rotation why a lot of projects aren't pumping. So I've also tried to point this out in several of my previous videos as well. But think about it from a whale's perspective. Imagine you have millions of dollars invested in Ethereum. Why would you rotate out of Ethereum when this is what the chart looks like since April? Pretty much since April, Ethereum has been pumping nonstop. That's not really the time for you to rotate out of a project. Now, obviously, yes, you could argue that maybe you want to rotate whenever you're retesting resistance. And perhaps that's the reason that this Ethereum weekly candle has gotten sold off quite a bit. But in general, there's no need for profit rotation yet. You have to understand, back in April, Ethereum was down at $1,383, and it's currently at $4,627. So even though it's pulled back a little bit, it's still very high. If you've been in Ethereum, you're doing very well. Now, it's also interesting when you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. As you guys know, for Bitcoin dominance, I've had this bear flag drawn for over a month at this point. And this bear flag is breaking down perfectly. In fact, it's getting very close to hitting the measured move. And this measured move is around 57%. And naturally, the lower the Bitcoin dominance drops, the better for altcoins. However, even though Bitcoin dominance is dropping, it's very important to understand perspective. Bitcoin dominance is still very high in the grand scheme of things. During the last altcoin season in 2021, Bitcoin dominance was ranging from 48% to 39%. So even though we're having a very nice breakdown, 58% is incredibly high. Whenever you see Bitcoin dominance this high, the odds of altcoins exploding are a lot lower. We want to see this continue breaking to the downside. And naturally, it's going to continue dropping lower if Ethereum continues breaking out. And that's why right now it's very important for Ethereum to actually get back above this level. I can't stress this enough. We want to see Ethereum in price discovery because unfortunately right now this could be argued as a macro double top, even though it was a higher close. Now, lastly, I do want to take a look at the Turbo X account. So as you can see, they currently have 113,000 followers. And they actually just posted 5 hours ago. No breaks, no doubts. The turbo train rides one track, forward into the turboverse. And a lot of their posts just have good energy, which I like. But the stuff they say is absolutely true. These are the times that are more important than ever to have conviction in your plays. I'm not even saying that you have to have conviction in a turbo. Yes, this is a turbo video, but just have conviction in your plays. I can't stress this enough. The 1% are the 1% for a reason. If you want to break into that upper echelon, then you have to be resilient. A lot of people right now are panicking. You have to be different. But honestly, that's about it for the update today. We're just seeing major consolidation around the entire market. If you guys are interested in turbo and just getting into projects super early in general, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord as well. At the current moment, I have 3 different tiers, but we've been making life-changing gains in here this entire cycle. Some of these plays you could have turned $1,000 into over $200,000. And if you look at the crypto gain section, my community is printing in here almost every single day. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage, and it'd be awesome to have you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about Turbo. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.